Greetings and Ramadan Kareem to our Muslim students. Please center with me as I bring the invocation for this day. Let us pray. Empowering God of grace and mercy, we invite your presence into this space. Family, friends, faculty, administrators, and community have come together to celebrate the accomplishments of the Bloomfield College graduating class of 2018. Holy Scripture tells us, "Happy is the person who finds wisdom and the person who gets understanding." Today marks a happy day for our graduates as they have spent the last few years seeking wisdom and hopefully gaining understanding. The scriptures also tell us that in all of thy getting, or seeking for knowledge and grasping for personal ambitions, that one should get an understanding of life. It is my hope and prayer that you graduates have not only gained an understanding of your field or vocation, but importantly that you have come to know and understand yourself in relationship to the world and your community. Know that you have a responsibility to share the knowledge that you have acquired today. As you are awarded honors and bestowed blessings, remember your Creator and the community and college that have formed you. Amen.
My most popular act of the day. Please be seated. Congratulations to all students, family members, partners, friends, and I would like just to start to ask all of the parents to please rise and other loved ones so that your students can cheer you for a change. You will later hear more about the meaning of this ceremony and the historical meaning behind these kinds of services. But I do want to start off by saying that this service is more introspective, more thoughtful perhaps, than the robust celebration that we're going to have throughout the week. And it's important for us as we get here together today to understand that those who are being awarded are the leading citizens of Bloomfield College in our student body. And chances are pretty good you will end up being leading citizens in the broader world when you leave us. And so I wanted to tell you a very short story as my remarks today about someone who was a leading citizen about whom you probably know very little, may never have heard of. He's a man whose name was Hans Bethe, B-E-T-H-E. He was a physicist. He won the 1967 Nobel Prize in Physics, and in an era when it's very difficult to make any new discoveries or new forward steps in areas as fundamental as physics, he is credited with being the father or grandfather of three separate fields in physics: electrodynamics, quantum astrophysics, and also solid-state physics. And you say, boy, must have been very impressive. What does that have to do with me? Well, here's the story about Hans Bethe. I worked with Hans Bethe. I was not a physicist. I was a lowly law student. And what did I work with him on? I worked with him in a committee to determine whether required physical education should be abolished for freshmen and sophomores. Almost a bizarre, this is almost something out of Monty Python. I'm working with Hans, and I didn't know who he was. I was later introduced and found out more about him. And I went up to him and said, "Professor Bethe, why is it that a man like you, who would be welcomed in laboratories of great universities, Harvard and Princeton and Cornell and Stanford, and he was at Cornell at the time, knew him and asked him to join their faculties, why would you spend your time arguing about required phys ed?" And in a long walk on a snowy day across the Cornell campus, he told me the following story. He said, "My mother gathered us up when we fled from Nazi Germany shortly before we were all going to be liquidated, and I didn't know it. We came to this country and we left behind us a society where our neighbors told us, we don't know what's going on and we don't care what's going on, that's not my business." He said, "I wanted to settle in a place where I was not only respected, but where I was an active citizen. And so when I interviewed at Cornell, I was told, we want you to do your research, We want you to teach graduate students. We want you to teach undergraduate students. We want you to serve on college committees. We want you to be involved in what the world is all about from your perspective here. And Beta said that was the society he wanted to be a part of, and he joined. When I first met him, it was 1972. He was age 68. And I remember him being white-haired and German, an old German professor, and thinking, boy, this man is as old as could be. Today, I'm more than a year older than he was then. But I'm so much younger than he was. But you know, Hans Beta lived to be 99 years of age. And shortly before his 100th birthday, he passed away. And I had the unusual opportunity in 2005, and I was just starting here as president, to take a day off and drive all the way back up to Cornell and attend his services. And heard speech after speech from the people who knew him and loved him, including his former students, some of whom were in their early 80s. Incredible. And they talked about how dedicated he was to things like the food pantry, to anti-war efforts during the Vietnam War, to equal opportunities for women and for minorities, and how he always argued that to be a true citizen, you're not only prominent in your field, but you're engaged, you're committed, you're part of what makes the world run, because without that, we will have the rise of dictators and fascism all over again. It's so important that we remember the lesson that Hans Beta was trying to teach me, and all I was interested in, frankly, was getting a good job, perhaps on Wall Street and making money, but it was, to me, something I never forgot. And when I went back to Cornell back in 2005, after he passed away for those services, I was reminded again when I saw prominent scientists, chemists, physicists, all say that the lessons he taught them were the same lesson I'm giving to you, and that is you have to be well-rounded, you have to be engaged, you have to be ready to say, I will do something for other people's benefit, whether it's on the school board, whether it's running for political office, whether it is seeking to raise money for charities or to run food banks, whatever it is, be a part of the greater world, because only then are you a true great citizen. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. As promised, an explanation of the baccalaureate ceremony. The baccalaureate ceremony is a symbolic rite of passage during which we pay tribute to those few of you who have achieved a status of honor. It's also an opportunity for us to gather together to embrace our solidarity as educated citizens and to reaffirm the sacredness of our common values. The baccalaureate ceremony stems from the medieval custom of presenting laurels or wreaths woven of evergreen foliage to represent the honor of educational or other achievement. The ceremony is usually accompanied by a moral or religious sermon or blessing and words of advice for the future. The blessing which is bestowed upon you during this ceremony comes in diverse forms, including the invoking of divine protection or help, and providing good wishes and wisdom from our honored speaker. This ceremony will culminate with graduates wearing their honor cords, which represent their modern-day laurels. The blending of the intellectual and spiritual realms in this ceremony is appropriate because this balance will provide an excellent foundation for your future endeavors. Those who are able to combine great knowledge with spiritual insight will have a tremendous impact on the world. Now, according to the 2015 US Census, approximately 40% of Americans have earned at least an associate's degree. However, only 32% of Americans have earned at least a bachelor's degree. This means that you are among the privileged few who have had the opportunity to develop your intellectual abilities to this level. You must recognize that your education carries both privilege and responsibility, not only to yourself, but to others also. It's clear by your presence here today that you've been gifted with great intellectual strength and ability. This served you well during your years at Bloomfield College, and it will continue to serve you well as you move forward to the next chapter in your lives. According to the Apostle Paul, each person has been given a gift, talent, or ability they can use to benefit themselves and others. Your intellect is at least one of your gifts. As you graduate tomorrow, consider how you can use your intellect to enrich the world around you. Along with your gifts and talents, never forget, you will also need perseverance in order to become successful in life. The ability to persevere separates those who are capable of success from those who actually do succeed. Your ability to stand in the face of adversity and to weather the storms of life will be the key to making your gifts and talents an asset to yourself and others. The very famous entrepreneur Mary Kay Ash once said, "Those who are blessed with the most talent don't necessarily outperform everyone else. It's the people who follow through who excel." When describing his gifts and talents, the great athlete Muhammad Ali once said, "I'm an ordinary man who worked hard to develop the talent I was given. I believed in myself, and I believe in the goodness of others." Finally, remember that no matter where you go or what you do with the rest of your lives, you must remain teachable, approachable, and humble. Your gifts and talents are yours, but they're only seen when they're shared with others. Today, you'll receive your honor cords and academic awards. Wear them proudly tomorrow during the commencement ceremony as you receive your degrees. But never forget to show your appreciation to everyone in your life who helped you achieve this tremendous milestone. All of you are leaders at Bloomfield College because of your outstanding academic achievements. As I close my remarks, I encourage you to remember these thoughts about leadership from the entrepreneur and motivational speaker, Jim Rohn. The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not a bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. Congratulations to you all. And now to the honors and awards. The qualifications for graduating with Latin honors, I want everyone to know, are to be cum laude. You are going to be a student who earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 and a 3.5 grade point average in your major. Magna cum laude is presented to those students who have earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.65 and a 3.65 grade point average in the major. Summa cum laude is presented to those students who have earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.8 and a 3.8 grade point average in the major. Impressive, we should give them. The Honor Societies recognizing students today are Alpha Chi Honor Society for all majors, Faculty Advisor, Professor Tom Toynton. Chi Alpha Sigma, Athletic Honor Society, Faculty Advisor, Dr. Deborah Curtis. Delta Mu Delta, Business Honor Society, Faculty Advisor, Dr. Christy Cruz Cohen. Kappa Delta Pi, Education Honor Society, Faculty Advisor, Dr. Karen Fasanella. Psi Chi Honor Society in Psychology, Faculty Advisor, Dr. Zachary Idala. And Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society of Nursing, Advisor, Ms. Lorraine Flood. Would all advisors for these honor societies please come up on stage? Also receiving cords today are members of the Bloomfield College Honors Program, the McNair Program, and military veterans. At this time, I ask Dr. Carolyn Spees, the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dean of Graduate Studies, and Director of the Bloomfield College Honors Program, to please join us on stage. Some graduates will receive multiple honors and academic awards. I will first present those students receiving Honor Society and Special Program Honors and Academic Awards. These students are Stephen Acosta, Robert Burnett History Award. Sharice J. Dawson, Steve Golan History Award. Jessica C. Demjanich, Outstanding Performance in Biology Laboratory Work Award. Ignacio Diaz, Mark Zelinski, please forgive me, Memorial Award. Nadia M. Small, the Martin Kelman Senior Award in English Literature. Malaysia R. Tucker, George E. Jones Creative Writing Award. William K. Bob, Alpha Chi, Chi Alpha Sigma. Brianna L. Bravo, Alpha Chi, Sigma Theta Tau. Darian J. Dominguez, Alpha Chi. Sekou Sangare, Alpha Chi. Mark A. Soul, Alpha Chi. Natalie Toro, Alpha Chi. Tevin I. Blake, Chi Alpha Sigma. Anthony Lantigua, Chi Alpha Sigma. Simone McAnuff, Chi Alpha Sigma. Juan C. Reyna, Chi Alpha Sigma, Delta Mu Delta, Business Honors, Achievement Award. Juan, thank you. Ed K. Brown Jr., Honors Program. Elizabeth T. Manos, Kappa Delta Pi. Abisola A. Adewolu. O. Adewolu, McNair Scholar. Christian Arias, McNair Scholar, and Outstanding Performance in Chemistry Laboratory Work Award. Elizabeth A. Leidy, McNair Scholar. Jessica Melendez, McNair Scholar, Ella Handon Humanities Award. Baptiste Milford, Military Honors. Lavancy Sanks, Military Honors. Jennifer A. Caro, Sigma Theta Tau. Georgina Coconozzi, Sigma Theta Tau. Alexis J. Rudolph, Sigma Theta Tau. Regina A. Villagran, Sigma Theta Tau. Aishana N. Williams, Sigma Theta Tau. Let's give them all a... I will now present students receiving Latin honors and other honors and academic awards. Students graduating cum laude are Jose N. Castro, Hafiza N. Kazi, Betsaida D. Salome Mello, Oscar J. Gutierrez Zuniga, Excellence in Chemistry Award, and the Charles Gross Award for Outstanding Work in Science. Caitlin A. McCracken, Excellence in Biology Award. Kyla C. Watson, the Martin Kelman Senior Award in English Literature. Youssef R. Kalini, Alpha Chi. Fernanda G. Altamirano, Alpha Chi Sigma Theta Tau. Rachel F. McCain, Alpha Chi Delta Mu Delta Honors Program. Stephanie Rivera, Chi Alpha Sigma. Amanda N. Faison, Honors Program, McNair Scholar, Psi Chi. Tanasia T. Houston, Honors Program, Kappa Delta Pi. Mariah L. Nelson, McNair Scholar, Distinguished Student in Sociology Award. Veronica L. DeMornay, Psi Chi. Let's give them all a round of applause. Students graduating magna cum laude are Erica A. DeBello, Daniel F. Jones, Lisbeth A. Maldonado, Alea J. Thompson, Daniel G. Sasso, Anthony J. Thomas, Distinguished Student in Psychology Award. Samantha Jimenez, Alpha Chi, Sigma Theta Tau. Let's give all of our magna cum laude graduates a hand. And now for the summa cum laude graduates. Richard Guadalupe, Jr. Brady Wow. Zachary S. Brown, Gerard Prince Journalism Award. Nadira S. Fant, Martha and Irving Weinberg Award. Corey K. Morgart, Martha and Irving Weinberg Award. Selena J. Suarez, Martha and Irving Weinberg Award. Dorothy A. Zarin, Alpha Chi Excellence in Mathematics Award. For those who don't know why we're making so much noise, she's one of our colleagues here. She works at the college. We're very proud of you guys. Mauricio P. Torrealba, Chi Alpha Sigma. Andrea M. Jewell, Honors Program. Gabriela D. Barrero, Delta Mu Delta, Reverend William P. Anderson, Senior, PhD, 61, and Carolyn A. Anderson Award. Final celebration for all of these outstanding students. Thank you, advisors. You can now take your seats. We will now hear readings from Gabriela Barrero and Selena Suarez, two summa cum laude graduates of the class of 2018. Gabriela?
This quote is from Siddhartha Gautama, if I'm saying his name correctly, the Buddha. It is good to train the mind, which is difficult to control, quick and jumps at whatever it desires. A disciplined mind leads to happiness.
Hello, this quote is from Mother Teresa. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. But if the drop was not in the ocean, I think the ocean would be less because of the missing drop.
Thank you both for those words. I'm pleased to present Dr. Glenn Hayes, who is the baccalaureate speaker today. Dr. Hayes is a professor of religion at Bloomfield College. He has been a member of the faculty since 1980 and is retiring after this semester. He grew up in Bloomfield and attended Bloomfield High School, graduating in 1970. After earning his BA in religion psychology at Lehigh University in 1974, he received his Master's of Divinity from the University of Chicago Divinity School in 1975. As a specialist on Hindu yoga, he traveled to India in 1979 through 80 in order to do doctoral fieldwork with itinerant yogis and to locate and translate previously unstudied Bengali and Sanskrit language Hindu texts from the 17th through 19th centuries. He received his PhD from the University of Chicago Divinity School for this work in 1985. He has published essays and chapters with Oxford University Press and Princeton University Press, and is a co-founder of the Society for Tantric Studies. He serves on the Cognitive Science of Religion program unit of the American Academy of Religion and is on the editorial board of Religions Online. His most recent research explores the uses of conceptual metaphors and the imagination in Asian religious traditions. Please welcome Dr. Hayes to the podium.
Thank you very much. Wow, Makes me tired remembering all that stuff I did. But anyway, congratulations to the class of 2018. Come on. And an extra round of applause for all your friends and your family and faculty, again, who've made this all possible. Okay, I would especially like to thank I would especially like to thank Dean Tresmaine Grimes for asking me to say a few words today. I promise to keep this to about 10 minutes, as I'm retiring from the college after 38 years of service and have a few things to share with you. So I, too, am about to embark on a new chapter of my story. Seeing our lives as narratives, as stories, is an important way of gaining a perspective on who we have become over the years, what we have been through, and where we might be going. Writing your own story, kind of a theme that the college uses, is very important. You are all about to go to places you've never been to before, so keep track of it. I suppose that if I were to summarize what worked for me in my own academic career, it would come down to these few things: timing, preparation, hard work, and supportive family and friends, especially grandparents and friends who helped us out with babysitting, grandparents, parents, babysitting, very important, very, very important. I suspect that all of these have been important to the graduating students here as well. And they will certainly be important to you as you move on into your careers after graduation. I'm the first person in my family to have gone to college. Okay? My mom and dad were both plenty smart enough, but never got the opportunity to go to college in the 1930s and 1940s. I am an immigrant son. My dad was born in England and came to the USA when my grandfather, who was a coal miner, decided that they had a brighter future in America. Although my mom was born over the Passaic River in Kearney, my other grandfather was a stonemason and a carpenter. So becoming a college professor was not exactly the family business model. I was fortunate to grow up here in Bloomfield, graduating from Bloomfield High School in 1970, as Tresmaine said. I still spend lots of times with friends from Bloomfield High School, and I married the beautiful young woman I took to the senior prom, Julie, who is over there. But I left Bloomfield High School and spent much of the next decade living elsewhere in America and overseas. For my undergraduate work, I went to Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to become a civil engineer. But the larger cultural movements of the 1960s and 1970s would shape my future. And this is an example of that timing that I mentioned. One of the goals of a college education is to broaden your worldview, to expand how you experience yourself, to interact with questions and problems that you had never encountered before, and above all, to get to know people from backgrounds different from your own. In my case, this meant that I would have to change my major every year, which may have been a bit excessive and not recommended unless your interests evolve as mine did. First year as an engineer, second year in sociology, third year in psychology, and the fourth year with an added double major in religious studies. This was a great way of pursuing what I was interested in, and it reflected much of what was going on in the larger culture and society, but it meant a crazy, crazy course load. There were so many things going on in the 1970s that led me and many of my baby boomer generation to question authority, to look for new ways of understanding the world, and above all, to consider all of the different ways to be a human being. So, in my case, this led to a type of turning in my studies, going from being a sociology major, exploring the nature of social groups and power, to a psychology major, considering the nature of consciousness and human behavior, to finally a religious studies major, learning about mysticism and all of the world's religions. I was fortunate at Lehigh to have an amazing professor, Dr. Patricia Lyons, who taught me how to study world religions and who started me on my own career as a historian of religions. Her own specialty was Hinduism, and this meshed perfectly with what a college student like me at the time was interested in. I was also lucky to study Hatha Yoga with a genuine Swami from way up high in the Himalayas. And then the next year, I began my study of Zen Buddhism with an actual Zen master from Korea. It was pretty awesome. Again, the timing was in my favor, but it took hard work and preparation, as well as an open mind, to take advantage of these opportunities, as you have all done here in your own ways at Bloomfield College. But I also needed the support of my wife. And after we got married in 1974, we drove out to Chicago in our rather rickety 1963 Ford Falcon window van, bright red with spiffy curtains and a mattress for camping. Very 70s, very 70s, very 70s. Now, I'd like to share one more story about timing that follows hard work and preparation. Now, when all of these things combine, it can lead to a meaningful career. In my case, it did. Now, my wife and I lived in Chicago from 1974 to 1979, and from 1979 to 80, we lived in Calcutta, India, while I carried out my doctoral research into Hinduism and yoga. After returning to Bloomfield, along with a baby girl whom we adopted from the jungle, with the help of Mother Teresa's lawyer, more on that later, I was busily typing up my research and working a part-time job. My wife Julie suggested that I contact the Reverend Paul Boger, who is pastor of the Presbyterian Church on the Green, just down there, had conducted our marriage ceremony in 1974, and who happened to be on the Board of Trustees of Bloomfield College. Now, although I grew up in Bloomfield and went to high school just on the other side of the Green, I honestly knew very, very little about the college. Basically nothing. This was also the third week of the fall 1980 semester, and so I didn't expect a quick reply. But Paul forwarded my CV to the late Dr. Marty Kellman, then chairperson of the humanities, who called me up on a Friday night and offered me a job teaching starting the next morning at 9 a.m. They were in the process of firing a professor who, let's just say, wasn't really working out. Okay? Now, I had actually planned that next morning to take the Foreign Service exam, kind of like a GRE, a Foreign Service exam in Newark for a career in the State Department of the Diplomatic Corps, but I basically said, nope, not going to do that. I'm going to Bloomfield College. So I stayed up much of the night preparing a lecture on ancient India, and the next day I began my journey here at the college. Talk about timing. Boom. All right? I've enjoyed my many years here since and feel blessed and grateful for the many students, colleagues, administrators, and staff I've worked with over the years. Now, with the readings. The first of the two readings, again, short readings, but I think potent. The first of the two readings I've given you today is attributed to the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, who lived around 500 BC. Now, although it seems to be so long ago, the times that Siddhartha was living in were times of tumult and change, and many people were finding that the ways of their grandparents were no longer so compelling. Many new ideas were appearing, and after he became the Buddha, the awakened or enlightened one, Siddhartha set out a new path for understanding the nature of our minds and how to negotiate living in the material world. To use a very modern phrase, the Buddha suggested how to hack the default settings of the human mind and behavioral system. And here's the quote: "It is good to train the mind, which is difficult to control, quick, and jumps at whatever it desires. A disciplined mind leads to happiness." Now, let me repeat that last line. A disciplined mind leads to happiness. One of the many reasons why different aspects of Buddhism and the related practices of mindfulness have become so popular around the world are the fundamentally psychological and cognitive dimensions of Buddhism. The root of human misery, according to the Buddhist model, are anger, greed, and ignorance. And each of these is caused, at least in part, by the tendency of our minds to be difficult to control, that they are extremely quick and reactive, and especially that the mind jumps at whatever it desires. So it is essential, say the Buddhists, to discipline and train the mind. Sometimes the image of taming a horse is used through the hard work and preparation of meditation, breathing exercises, compassion, and skillful means, or knowing when to time our efforts and statements. Also, when knowing when not to say something, which over the years I've gotten a lot better at not saying things. It comes in handy. But Buddhism also created an extensive academic program with universities, teachers, students, and many, many, many books, many of which have not even been translated yet. So to train the mind also means very much what we've all been doing here at Bloomfield College, and has been essential to you in your learning the many ideas and methods of your degree programs. The disciplined mind then involves hard work, preparation, and timing. Now, going forward, I would urge all of you to try to steal a few minutes every day without your phones on, just to sit quietly and to be mindful about the important things in your life. Like that. To do this, to train the mind, can indeed lead to the happiness of not just a fine career, but also of a rewarding and full human life. Which brings us to the second reading that I've given you today, from Mother Teresa. Now, when we lived in Calcutta from 1979 to 1980, and again in 1987-88, we had numerous friends who were volunteering at Mother Teresa's several locations, primarily at the House of the Dying, where destitute people could go to pass their last weeks in dignity and care. She also ran an orphanage, and in 1980, we used her lawyer to help us in the adoption of our older daughter, and he helped us to successfully navigate the bureaucracy and bring the baby home. I mean, it really helped to have Mother Teresa's lawyer in the court. They were like, yeah, dude. All right. In 1987, a British friend was actually Mother Teresa's personal banker. Yes, indeed. And we were honored to meet her on one occasion. And she blessed both of our daughters. And this remains a profound memory to this day. Mother Teresa, now a saint, had a gift for showing boundless love and for teaching all of us how to be more compassionate and how to find meaning in every single human life. Every single human life. To use a phrase from modern cognitive science, she had a great way of framing our actions and lives. Framing this idea of the bigger picture. How does it all fit together? And Mother Teresa basically says that. And here's what she says. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. But if the drop was not in the ocean, I think the ocean would be less because of the missing drop. Now, let me repeat that last phrase. I think the ocean would be less because of the missing drop. It is, of course, so easy to be overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the world, the number of people, the endless crises and tragedies, and the many tasks we face each day. But Mother Teresa argues that, in fact, that massive world needs us on some deep cosmic level, that we should think more about how we complete and make the world larger, and less about how we are unlikely to make a difference. The framing here, which also connects to the Buddha's idea of training the mind to see the complete ocean, right, argues that each graduating student should be confident and compassionate as you head out into the world along the many pathways you will take. It is your time now, so get into that ocean and make it complete. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hayes, for those very inspiring words. Graduates, you have received your challenge from Dr. Hayes. Wear your cords proudly tomorrow morning, and never forget the many people who helped you achieve excellence. We will all be watching tomorrow as you receive the fruits of your labor, your college degree. Congratulations. At this time, I call forward Reverend Terry Ofori to offer the benediction.
As a chaplain, I believe in the triunity of the human being, the mind, body, and spirit. And most of us are familiar with being humans or human doings, doing a lot of things that sometimes don't get us very far in life. We spent the past 4 years here working our minds and sharpening them, but I want to encourage us to think about our spirits, because we do have eyes and ears in our spirits as well. Let us pray. Dear God, as we conclude this season of preparation and call these graduates toward the challenges that lie ahead, I call on you to strengthen them, but first, give them peace. And with that, give them eyes that truly see, that see the needs of the world around them, and recognize in them your fingerprints and the opportunities that you've laid before them. Give them also ears that truly hear, that are tuned in to your voice and hear your call above the din and disruption of culture and the raised voices of celebrity and critique. Give them hands that are open, not clenched or grasping, but gentle and generous and quick to move in service for you and others. Give them feet that know the path that you have set before them and not afraid to make their own. Give them feet determined to walk steadily with you, but eager to walk alongside of others, and feet that are stable, because they know they do not walk alone. Give them minds that are transformed rather than conformed, always thinking of ways to make their communities a better place. And give them hearts full of love for a broken and needy world. Give them hearts full of peace, for we know that it is only your peace, your shalom, and your salam that can heal us in the world. I ask all of these things of you, O God, our Creator. We ask now a blessing upon our graduates, that they would be conduits and stewards of the amazing talent you've given them. And let them give these good gifts generously in service to you and to the world. Amen.